welcome back. And if you tuned in late, my special guest is Dr. Roger Rhoades, who is a Christian counselor. And we're talking about, you can't make more time. So he's trying to help us figure out how we can use the time God has given us to better our lives and the lives of people we care about.
Yes, I think it's, I guess, because I played football when I was in high school,
Yeah.
I think in those terms.
All right.
And what's sad, Peggy, is that it's like us saying, okay, Peg, you and I, we're going to go out in the field and we're going to beat that other team. And you're sitting thinking, well, how are we going to do that? Well, I don't tell you that. What plays are we going to have? Well, I'm not going to tell you that. You should just know. And we'll kind of wing it out there. You wing it and I wing it, and we'll wing it together, and we'll have kids and we'll encourage them to wing it, and we'll wing it on through. And we'll do as good as we've done. And we fail miserably, or we have all these problems. And one of the things that I've just noticed about so many of the experts out there is they're saying the same thing. They're saying, write things down. Plan it out. Have a schedule. We as a family always do this. We plan to do this. I can remember when I was around one of my childhood friends who came over to my house, and the first thing he said was, he shook his head, and he looked and he says, "You were taught better than this, Roger." And he could have gotten up and slapped me in the face and not affect. But what I was doing was I was eating on the run. I was grabbing what I could. I ran in. I said hi to everybody. I ran out. And he says, "I know your family. I know how you were raised. This isn't how your family raised you. They raised you to come in, to sit down, to be curious about what you did. Your family always wanted to know who your friends were. They always wanted to know your friend's family. And they always wanted to know what you were doing with your time. But you don't seem to be interested in that at all. And there's a consequence to that. That's going to harm people. And even if we've gotten off that, maybe we're not doing that right now. What we're trying to tell people out in the audience is, if you can get collaboration, if you can sit around and say, this is the way we're going to play. We're going to run this play, and then we're going to run this play. And even if the play doesn't work, we're running them anyway. And even if we don't win the game, we're going to run it anyway. And we believe eventually we're going to win. This is a winning plan.
So you're thinking busy families maybe should say, well, every Thursday night we'll have dinner together.
Oh, my goodness,
and everybody
yes.
should be there. Now,
Yes.
if we can't, if the mother is working and there's no time to prepare a meal, we'll all go someplace together. If it's only McDonald's, and we'll sit down at the same table and we'll be together.
That is so powerful. That is good. What I'm saying as a therapist, Peggy, is that's good mental health. That's good preventative health. A family that does that sits down and eats together and prays together, plans together, has a life that's intertwined, is just better.
So you think because if you attempted that, more marriages would be saved?
Oh,
more kids would be.
Marriage, boy, that's even a totally different area. Goodness gracious, we have made it so easy to get out of a marriage. I'm surprised anybody's married. I want to be honest right now. I'm amazed people are married. It's so easy to be unmarried. It really takes work to be married to a person. It takes commitment to be married. You've got to dig in, It isn't a surface situation. It's a total commitment. And the people that make it work on it. That's the bottom line. I don't know anybody who's just married. The people I know who are married wake up in the morning and they work on their marriage. And at night, they work on their marriage. Now, is their marriage Hollywood?
No.
You know, and I want to tell young people, you're not going to wake up in designer pajamas with your makeup still on. You know, that isn't the way marriage is. And you're going to have things that go wrong. That's life. But boy, when you get with people and it's not, well, I hope you get through this, rather it's, we'll get through this. We're big enough for this. We don't handle this alone. I love how people, I've seen people who've had tragedies. You know, I grew up in Oklahoma where there's a lot of tornadoes. So there's a lot of, tragedy. But the people who made it through that didn't make it. I'm going to suck it up and do it by myself. The minute a tragedy happened, they were on the phone. They were calling friends. They were calling church
Everybody
members.
came together.
You better believe it. I know some people that haven't cooked their own meal for a year. They had a tragedy in their family, and they had friends bring them chicken and roast beef and meal after meal after meal. And is that easy? No. Was it a burden for those other people? Peggy, you know it was. And that's kind of what we need to encourage people. It's work. It's commitment. It's hard, but it's worth it. There's a payoff to it, and that's, people are just looking, I want to say I do and buy a ring and us, ride off in the sunset and live happily ever after. And we want that to be marriage.
But this is the message that is given.
Yes.
In the movies, in the television shows, And I once heard a young lady say, well, and the big wedding plan, and she, well, if I don't like it, I can always get out.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes, there you go. If I don't like it.
Yeah, those were her words.
Think of that.
Yeah.
Think of that. Yeah. I'm going to bring everybody.
I wonder if she said that to the young man she was going to marry. I don't know.
Well, and the other side is,
he may have said the same thing.
Even if she didn't, the bigger question would be, do you think he knew it? Even if she didn't verbalize it, in his heart, could he feel the lack of commitment? And the first time something tough happened, and we're seeing this over and over, people out. What I'm really saying is, I'll be married to you, not for better or worse, but for better. Not for richer or poorer, but richer. Not sickness and health, but in health. But if any of those bad things happen, buddy, I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. I didn't sign up in this army for the bad stuff. I only signed up for the good stuff. And that's not real marriage. You talk to people who are older that have been married, buddy, when I think of the stuff my grandparents went through to be with each other, oh my God, I don't know how they made it. I don't know how they didn't kill each other. But boy, they'd kill other people for it. They were together. Well, they went through the hard times, and they never expected things to be easy.
So what your real message is, whether you're talking about marriage or your kids or your job, your life in the months to come, is step back and analyze and save some time to commit to other people.
Yes.
And talk to other people.
Involve
and be interested in other people.
And yes. How do you expect other people to be interested in you when you're not interested in them? Do you think you're some celebrity? Oh, I'm just going to be here and people are going to be interested in me. No. You know, you need to go to fellowships, and you need to give to others, and you need to help others. That's good for you. That's good for your thinking. That's good for your system. That's good, you know, all through you. And we've lost that. We're so dedicated to move faster, to get more, that we're just missing out. You know?
On the things that really last.
Yeah.
The things that matter.
I remember my grandfather, he used to take, you remember those old metal outdoor chairs? They were made all of metal. He would put one in his pickup truck and go to the pond and fish, just so he could sit back and take some time out and relax. And I think, well, he would have a hard time doing that now. And I love, here's another thing that gives me some encouragement, Peggy. A little bit of encouragement.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Duck Dynasty. Those boys are just good old boys sitting down in Louisiana eating squirrel, and the public's loving them, and that they're living the good old days.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
So what we need to do is take a deep breath and turn the clock back a little bit.
Oh.
Even though we have to pursue the careers and the families and the education and all the things that are out there, we need to step back, breathe a little bit, say some prayers, and reorganize how we live.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're out of time, Doctor.
Oh,
we could go on and on and on.
Too fast.
Dr. Roger Rhoades, and I have his number, and we had it up on the screen. So we wish you Godspeed and hope that maybe some of these things make us all step back and think a little bit, and we can be better in the time we have left to celebrate life. We'll see you next time.